Okay. Jeg skal lige mærke det, jeg skal sige. Okay. It's a year ago that I made my first cup. And normally I make huge sculptures. This is not so huge, but sculptures like this. And the way that I work when I make sculptures is that you use a lot of power in here, and you connect it to what's in here and what sits in the top of your stomach, and you use all your power to create. And when I had to make cups, because I wanted to serve tea for some workshops that I'm doing, I discovered that working with the Japanese methods, it was a completely different experience, because you don't add clay, you only remove clay. And it made me calm down completely. And I really want you to experience how that feels. So no matter if you have experience or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna show you how to make a Japanese teacup today. Okay, you need some clay. And I don't care what type of clay you have, just some type of clay. And this is the size that I'm using to make a cup like this. And I give it a slap to begin with. And then actually this year, it's 100 years since the surrealist movement came to life. And I guess that you know painters like Dali and Frida Kahlo. And they reacted to World War I because everybody had realized that you can't rely on the human, what can you say, the human sense. So we have to delve even deeper. And now I want to show you why that's cool. Because if you want to make a beautiful surface on a cup, I think that the surrealists would do this. Okay, are you ready? Okay, done. Now I'm going to show you what I just made. This. And you know what? This is more beautiful than anything that I could have thought of on beforehand. So I'm showing you this because I want you to relax. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to, don't have to have a plan. Just do something and relax. Okay, now you need a tool, a different tool. Not this one, we're putting this away. This one, you need this one. And you're going to hollow this lump of clay out because you only remove clay during this process. Okay, are you ready? Like this. And it feels so nice. And you just proceed doing this until you're approximately, I guess 1.5 to 2 centimeters from the base of this cup. So I'm just going to do that now. And this can almost become like a meditation for me, because you don't have to think anything at all. You just repeat this movement. And actually, I think that a lot of us run around every day and do a lot of things, and it's difficult to sit still. It is for me, I know. But it's very, very healthy to just repeat the same movement over and over again. Okay, I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna remove this, I think. Look at this, I'm just removing clay, nothing else. And if you look at the rim here, I think this is okay, not thinner than this. And also I know that this depends on the clay that you're working on. It can be, some clay types are very soft This type of clay is that I'm working with here is as a stoneware clay, and it's very strong. It's a very strong clay, so the sides will not easily collapse. But no matter what, it's better to make the walls a little bit on the thick side because we can always adjust it, okay? So just moving along, hollowing the cup out. So now it emerges, and sometimes people ask me, is my cup too heavy? And I know that there's a show, maybe you know the show, it's called The Great Pottery Throwdown on English television. And there's this guy, he's the judge in the show. His name is Keith, and he used to be a punk rock musician, I guess in the 80s or something like that. And every time he judges a piece, he lifts it, and if it's the perfect weight, he starts crying. And I think it's wonderful. But for me, a cup cannot be too heavy because if it's heavy, you need to use both of your hands to lift it up. And I think it's very beautiful because then you can't write on your laptop and just sip your coffee and look out the window. You have to be here fully present, just lifting this cup. So don't worry if it's too heavy, we don't care. Maybe it's a good thing. That being said, it can be a good idea that there's actually room for the coffee or tea in the cup. So it's not just clay sitting in the corners. And that's why I'm also hollowing it out in here afterwards when I have trimmed the inside of the cup. I just want to make sure that there's not a lot of clay inside where there could have been liquid, for instance. Okay. And now I'm almost done hollowing this out. And sometimes people say, okay, you want a square cup? Yeah, maybe I do. You can make your cup square like this. But if you want to adjust the shape, you can just take your hand, and this is really a pro tip. This is my best tip ever, okay? No matter what type of clay you're working on, no matter what item you're working on, put your ninja hand on the outside firmly like this. This is the shape. This makes the shape because the clay doesn't know where it should go, so you have to show it with your hands, of course. So I put my hand firmly outside, and I use my thumb to adjust the inside like this. Like this, all the way around. And we have to, like I said, perfection, boring, we don't care on the outside, but on the inside, it's a little bit different because we need to be able to clean the cup. So we have to smooth everything out in here so there will be no places for the bacteria to hide when we put this in the dishwasher. So I'm just smoothing out the inside completely and also actually giving it a different shape. As you can see, I'm making it a little bit more round now. Okay. And also up here, because yeah, my husband, he's throwing. That's a whole different kind of story. And one time he made a cup, it was one of his first cups, and the rim up here was very thick, and it's not very nice to have a very thick like rim on your lips. So we will adjust that just by pinching a little bit. And also if you have places like this that cracks a little bit or is uneven, I like to use the tools to just hit it like this. And then adjust it again. And you can do this as many times as you want to until you think that the shape is nice and the rim is nice. and has a nice thickness to it. Also, you need to do the nose test because, and I know this because I have a fairly large nose and I love it. No one can touch it, but I don't want it to get fixed. I like it, but there needs to be room for it when I drink from a cup. And once I made a cup and it was very, very small and I couldn't drink from it. So we have to like test it. Is the design, is it working? Yes, my nose can fit in here. So yeah, it's okay. Okay, like this. Good. This is how it looks now. Now I turned around and I'll show you how to make the base because I like to elevate the cup like this because there was a lady, she told me, I just want a safe cup. And what is a safe cup? It was a cup with a big base. So it was just like planted on the table, a safe cup. That was a safe cup for her. But I like an unsafe cup. I like a cup that's elevated a little bit like this because you can see the proportions because all of this is negative space. And it gets like elevated and a little bit more dynamic, I think. So yes, I like safe cups. I also like them elevated, and I'm gonna show you how to make a base like this. Okay, a tool. And I think I've already said this twice, but I don't care about perfection because I think it's boring. Because perfection can be made on a machine. And you're not a machine. Thank you. You're a human being. That's nice. So I'm going to draw now, and it's not going to be perfect. Two circles, and I'll show you in a minute that it's not, yeah. Is it even a circle? I don't know. You can judge. Okay. One here and a circle inside. And now I'm going to remove clay again, because this is going to be the foot ring and it's going to emerge when I remove the clay. I'll use this. You can use a wooden tool, whatever your hands like. Maybe this is also good, yeah. I'm gonna start with this, and then we can always, and a lot of people say, I'm afraid now. I get afraid because what if I make a hole? And yeah, what if you do? You can fix the hole. And people say, oh my God, when is the cup too thin? And it's too thin if there's a hole, because if you can see the light come through, it's too thin, because then it will not hold liquid. So, but look at this, look at how much you can actually remove. This is a lot. Just gonna remove this, like that. Okay, a lot of people sit like this when they work. And that's a good thing, but the problem is that you cannot judge how your item is looking or how it's coming along if you keep sitting like this and you don't lift it up and look at it. Okay, so look at this. I like this. Maybe I could remove a little bit more here, but I think it's almost done. And you know what? I saw an artist, and he makes such beautiful things, both in wood and in stone, big sculptures. And I saw his whole process while he was working, and then I saw the final result. And I was like, what happened here? Because it died between his hands. I think it must have been during the last minutes because it was too polished. And I wish, maybe I should call him and tell him that it would really be great if he could just stop a little bit before, because that was just so beautiful and perfect, because you could see the tools on the stone and on the wood. And I like that. For me, That's beautiful, that you can actually see that a human being was here and made this. So look at this. This is not perfect. This is me stopping now because I don't want it polished. I want it to be like this. Okay. Here you go.